Yeah, discontinued operations, when you sell a division, there's certain rules on how to account for it, but it's usually not too material. We're really trying to focus on the essence of the business, not get every number right. If you work professionally, you might want to get every number right. But if it's just your personal investment and nobody else is going to look at your work, what's important is you're not doing the model just for busy work. You're trying to make money, and you're trying to understand the business. And the better you understand the business, maybe the more money you can make. And that means the financial business, that means the product side of the business, every side of the business. Yeah, I mean, if you're early in your career, it's okay to live with your parents, but don't act like you're a millionaire when you're living with your parents. Or if your mom's sick or you're married or something like that. Mom will live with me when I get older. When she gets older, I get married, I'll let mom live with me. Most of these industrial companies that have factories and stuff like that they're not that efficient. They're going to need factory workers. Those are all pretty low paid workers. Yeah, some people do that. You could have a compound. I'd have a house with just one house for my mom, and on the compound that was smaller, and then my main house for me, wifey, and the kids. And my mom wants to help take care of the kids. It's great. It doesn't jump out to me as cheap right off the bat. Is there any reason this would be a growth company? Car parts is pretty stagnant field. Airbags and seatbelts. Hard to get too excited about airbags, steering wheels, and seatbelts. I don't know anything about when the U.S. economy will crash or if it will crash. No, Microsoft's not a buy. Oh, there's the Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Stellantis, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, all the big ones. Oh, they have major EV maker. That's probably Tesla. The major EV. Well, it could be Li or like one of the Chinese ones. Well, this company is growing. It's growing revenue's growing like a tech stock, but it's hard to understand why. Just auto parts. Yeah, I like Tesla. I trust Elon. And the valuation's not bad. I care more about valuation than management sometimes. I care about both. You gotta care about both. And they're both good. Okay, so they had, I guess one of the ways to look at this, yeah, this is fair. So basically they had $500 million in cash flow, free cash flow, in 2020, when they had a lot less sales. So they had $500 million free cash flow in 2020. 40% revenue growth. So theoretically, cash flow should be at least 40% higher, right? So that's like $600 million free cash flow. So that's a little better if you look at it that way. But that's 15 times earnings. Cassava is up. It doesn't matter. If the drug doesn't work, it doesn't matter if it's 30, 40, 50, 60. It's going to go to 1. Prime Medicines is up. I just started shorting Cassava, so I have plenty of firepower. I'm going to put a lot of money in this trade. Yeah, Ginkgo is cooked. Split up Ginkgo for spare parts. Cassava 100 billion confirmed. Let's go. Cassava right up there with Merck and Pfizer. Okay, so now you see the cyclicality of the auto parts business. Rapamycin works as a medicine, doesn't work as an anti-aging drug. 3 months, Sava will go down a lot, most likely, assuming they're not lying. They lie a lot. Okay, so here's cyclicality. This is where their revenue went down substantially, and the revenue went up substantially. It's you just remove the patients you don't like. Hey, you didn't do so good on this drug. You know what? You're out of the study. We don't need you with your sickness and your health. Why can't you be like the other patients and get better? You know what? You're done. You're done. They always used to say if you want a survival of a cancer trial, you just check out who's in placebo, who's in drug, and go shoot the placebo patients. Placebo patients died a lot faster compared to Shkreli 222. Shkreli 222 increased survival substantially versus placebo. 3 placebo patients died very quickly. Yeah, I don't, gotta say, I don't love this company. You take a look at like average cash flow. It's like 250 million free cash flow. That's not much. So 36 times earnings for seatbelts and airbags. I don't know. Atlassian is only 25 times earnings, and they're growing 20% year over year. So this is a really Winnie Harlow, I pass. It's really not enough free cash flow for me. This is obviously a high capex business, and I'm not sure how much more market share they can get. So like they have all the key customers. The auto market's certainly not going to be growing. It's not a growth market. It's like PCs or something, right? Ackman's a good investor. Yeah, we'll look at Cassava maybe later tonight or something. I just short common stock for Cassava. Puts are good too. Puts will probably double. Just because a hedge fund buys the stock doesn't mean it's a good stock. Hedge funds aren't any better than you or me. They have more time. They're paid professionally to look at stocks, but they may not. I'm not sure they're any smarter than us. They have more resources, but now take a look at gross margin declining over the years from 21% to 16%. That seems strange. Usually over time you improve margins, or certainly with higher sales, they broke into 10 billion in revenue. You know, they should be, and I don't know what caused this big growth last year. And if you look at the first half of 2024, it looks like they're going to grow, not grow, but they're going to have another big year. Maybe they'll have 600 million in free cash flow, but that's still nothing to write home about. Yeah, it doesn't seem that exciting to me. Maybe I'm missing something, and I probably am. I mean, I have to read a lot more. You know, just looking at the numbers isn't going to do you very much. It's good to set things up that way, start this way. Now you got a scaffold. You have to build on the scaffold. Oh, we're on Godel version 3.33. That's good luck. Excel exports added. We redesigned OPT. Let's look at OPT. Nice. What do you guys think? The options maybe need a little bit more work. We'll see. These are options. This is real. I think this is real-time options, and you can see the trades. Let me see if let's try Cassava options. It's just a little weird because I'm not seeing, it's not rendering every price. That shouldn't be the case. Maybe those options don't exist or something. I don't know. It is expensive. So real-time options prices with analytics. Yeah, something's not right here. It's all right, we'll figure it out. I mean, I would gamble on these November puts. What do you think? Would you gamble on those November puts for Cassava? It might come out by November 15th. We don't know. But I mean, if you really want risk limit, just, yeah, buy the 25 puts or the 30 puts. I mean, you're going to make a lot of money either way. Return is return. Positive return is positive return. Yeah, I think the 30 puts are basically free money. But never say never. There's no free lunch. Taking a lot of risk when you buy that. What if they delay it another quarter? What if they lie? There's no way the drug works, right? What if they spin it and the spin is very effective? Very unlikely. But all of those things you have to be ready for. So don't go all in. You want to stack money over the years and years and years? This one will help you. You know, you could turn 5K to 8K or 9K. You could turn $35,000 to $60,000. You know, don't jump out the window and go crazy. Look, Tobias, yeah, who knows? Maybe they will. Do they have billions of dollars? Are they going to buy bad data? Some of those people are more rational than you think. A lot of the people there who are really crazy, they're not, you know, that crazy. You say, oh, hold on a second. I thought this was supposed to be, I thought it was supposed to work. It doesn't work. Politicians don't know anything about investing. Trust me, if they were good investors, they'd become investors. They would not be in politics. Pelosi, not the best trader. You guys are just memeing. Don't fall for stupid memes. Be a critical thinker. Ask yourself more questions. Generally speaking, VC returns are pretty opaque. But I think most investors will want to know about every vintage before investing. So it'd be very weird if you said, well, let's not show you the bad year. Yeah, VC returns are generally bad, but some are very good. One of our investors was up 7x money over money. I heard of another guy who was up 40 MOM, multiples of money. 40x. Now, the problem with the VCs is the life cycle takes a while, right? You don't get your money back right away. It takes 5-10 years. The marks could be not necessarily good marks. So that 40x can become 20x or something like that. It jumps around. Yeah, man, I don't like this stock. I think at a cheap price, this is probably a good stock, but it seems very normally valued, at least only on the numbers. Let's look at the news. So they're saying they're going to do 1.1 billion in operating cash flow. That's a little bit more, assuming the same capex. They're getting up there in earnings, but I don't know if I pay even 18 times earnings for this, for no growth, basically. It's an okay stock, but I really wouldn't go too crazy on this one. Any special reason you're interested in this one? Just a hedge fund purchases? Well, we can look on Godel what hedge funds own it or whatever. Sevian Capital owns 10% almost. What the heck is Sevian Capital? Buyout firm or something? European public companies. Swedish investment firm. Backed by Carl Icahn. 16.5 billion AUM, pretty good. Formerly called Amaranth. What? They must have changed their name. It's just weird if they've Sevian 1 and Sevian 2, because it's like no short stock, no leverage, no proxy fights. Then they did a proxy fight. Well, it's a big fund. I just don't know what. So it's not a hedge fund. Oh, it is the largest activist firm. So they do activism. I thought they were sort of saying that they don't. So should I call this a fund or should I a hedge fund? Oh, it says the hedge fund. Let's see, it's the Hedge Fund Journal. Okay, well, that's a good new hedge fund to add. We have a hedge fund file. I've not been talking much about this file. Let's just say it's on my GitHub. It's free. It's a lot of people would pay for this file, and I'm going to grow it and make it. It's preliminary. My old file, it's somewhere. I have to go find it. My old file is really good. I hope I have it lying around somewhere. I really do. Might be on my old computer. I got that over there. Maybe I'll boot that up. But I've got all kinds of hedge fund secrets in here. And I'm probably going to put it behind a paywall at some point on Godel. I think Renaissance is still goated, yeah. I don't have a strong opinion on standing desks, but yeah, those hedge fund bosses are pretty attractive to women. A good, easy life. Shopping all day, hanging out with the kids, going to fancy events and galas, buying any dress you want, having 50 bags and 50 shoes. That is hedge fund wife life. Not all of them. Some of them are cool. Diddy party here and there. All right, Sevian. There's Fidelity, BlackRock, Swedbank, which is some Swedish thing. Fidelity International, which we should merge that with just Fidelity. State Street, Dimensional, Mondrian Investment Partners. Menorah Mivtachim Holdings, Israeli thing, I think. Public Sector Pension Investment Board. Point State, there's an important fund. Point State. Caxton, another important hedge fund. Lancaster, I don't know. Exodus Point, another prominent fund. I forget if Holocene is a hedge fund. I don't think so. Marshall Wace, prominent fund. You get a job at any of these, you're a big shot hedge fund guy. Trex Quant Investment Management. What's interesting is there's no quants in here. No quants, no Citadel, no Millennium. They're probably all short. I would be. I'd be short this and long something else, but who knows? The models are all over the place. Yeah, Renaissance is a tiny stake though. 11 million, that's nothing. Volo Ridge. Yeah, but not a single Jane Street. There's Cubist. That owns a tiny bit. There's Two Sigma, owns a tiny bit. Okay, so there's Millennium. So a couple of the quants own a tiny bit. You could imagine D.E. Shaw and the other guys are all short it, but who knows? And I'm glad this happens because this should happen more often. We've been looking at a lot of interesting stocks, but the model says 108, stock price is 94. Honestly, 8% discount is probably too low. 8.5 gets us like literally $5 away. ROICs, what's interesting here about ROIC is you have a management that's buying back stock. So if you look at their investment opportunities, there's not a whole lot they can invest in the auto parts market in terms of CapEx or buying out other companies or whatever that's going to be really accretive. But they are buying back their own stock, which is around a 5% earnings yield if you think about it that way. 20 times earnings, 1 divided by 20 is 5%. And that's a reasonable risk-free rate too. So something like that is fair. You know, unless you have an Elon Musk or something like that, your ROIC is never going to be that high. And they're only going to have cash in this year, 26. But, you know, they seem like a pretty smart management, buying and pruning the business. So it certainly can continue to grow. But, you know, if you think management's that great, obviously if you bump the ROIC, you can have a look at Berkshire. If your management is great, management can take a flat business that has no earnings growth, and turn it into something amazing. I've done it. You know, management, that's why management is so important.